everybody, welcome back to, this is video 3.2. It's Math Foundations Pre-Calculus, and this is a section on polynomials. It's kind of a quick section. We're actually in this part looking at stuff we didn't do in the first semester. So this is new to everybody. And I'll just apologize if the format that you have doesn't exactly match this. But I'd be truthful. This is the copy of the assignment I had home, so I'm going to use it. And it says, what is the value of each of the following? I think there was a part that maybe I should have put in front of this. So I'm going to make up my own. I'm going to put a little line here. And I'm going to go M4 divided by M4. And you know the answer, right? M4 divided by anything divided by itself is just plain old 1. But if we follow the rules for division, which is subtract your exponents, 4 minus 4 is 0. And I think I did that somewhere else. And I said, yeah, it was a Z in the previous one. There was a 0. I'm like, you don't actually write that. You just don't bother with it because 1 times anything, it just disappears. We don't need it. So let's see. We go C10 divided by C10. Well, anything divided by itself is 1. But 10 minus 10, C0. You can see the edge of my paper. There we go. One more time, because I'm sure at this point you're going, we get it. You know what? I'm going to trust that you get it. So what you need to know is anything to the 0 power. Let me write that. I'm going to write it pretty. Anything, I don't care what you write, to the 0 power is equal to 1. So down here, c to the 0 is equal to 1. And m to the 0 is equal to 1. And k to the 0 is equal to 1. And you know what? Even 9 to the 0 is equal to 1. And if you don't believe me, what's not to believe here? I can use, like, I can't do letters on my calculator, but I certainly can go 9. And then on this calculator, I don't have one of those funky, like the caret button thing. On this particular, okay, let's try that again. On this specific calculator, I have a y to the x button. Either way, it's my exponent button. So I can go xy. See, it makes a cute little caret up there for me. I don't know why the calculator does it this way. Boop. And it's going to say 1. Hey, check this out. 5. I don't know. Some ridiculously big number. Exponent 0. Boop. It's 1. Put in whatever you want. It's going to be 1. Okay. And then I got tricky. Because the answer to this one is not 1. What you talking about? All right. So this part is equal to 1. So this really means 5 times 1, which is 5. This, because this part is in a bracket, so that 0 applies to both the n and the 5, is 1. Don't stress over it. That's just me trying to be tricky and, you know, make sure hardly anybody will get 100% on the test. All right, let's try this page. Okay, using expansion, write the following. Write your answer in 2 ways. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I explained in the last video, I was just getting lazy. I should be putting little dots in between, but for what we're doing, it's not that huge, not important. So one thing I can do is I can just happily cancel. And if I do that now, this is important. Please to be paying attention. My answer is 1 over r squared, because there's more r's on the bottom. If everything cancels out on the top, you get a 1, right? This is not the same as r squared on the top, okay? So I don't even want to write that anywhere. Just if there's more on the bottom, then you put 1 on top, and there we go. Now, option 2 is I can follow my rules, and I can go 3 minus 5, right? I'm dividing, so I'm going to subtract my exponents. So I can also get r, messy, r to the minus 2, because 3 minus 5 is minus 2, which means this and this are exactly the same thing, right? They mean the same thing. It's just a different way of writing it. I personally think if you're, okay, this is terrible. If you're handwriting, this is so much easier to understand. I don't want a negative exponent. No. But this one's way easier to type because you only have like one line. Anyway, I'm digressing again. Use expansion. Okay, so M, T, T. Oh. 6, 7. Now Bean's growling in the background, protecting me from the vicious. Oh, there she goes. Protecting me from the small dog that's being walked outside my window. Anyway, cancel. And I guess we're done canceling. So that's going to give me, oh, the mic's picking her up, but she's not pleased. T3, that stays on the top because there's nothing for it to interact with, so leave it up there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, M5 on the bottom. That's a lovely answer. Or, whoops, I guess it doesn't really matter, but when you have 2 letters, you normally go alphabetical. And over here it was alphabetical. So the M's came first. So if I go 2 minus 7, I'm going to get M to the minus 5. And then there's nothing, the T3 doesn't do anything. So T3. So again, this, same. 36, 2, 3, 4, and B. And 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 B's. All right, 36 divided by 18 is going to give me 2. Cancel. All canceling out to 1, so I have to worry about them. Cancel here. Now the trick is, where are those B's? They're on the bottom, right? So they need to stay there. You can give me 2 over B squared, or 2, and we can go A4 divided by A4. That's going to cancel out. Boop. And this is B to the 1 minus 3, 2B minus 2. Ta-da! So the takeaway, the point of me doing this question, is if you go from the bottom to the top, so if it's a negative up here, it's a positive down there. So if you flip it from top to bottom, the sign on your exponent will change. Let me write that. Okay, so the technical word here is reciprocal and stuff, but I'm just going to be easy. If you flip the variable from top to bottom of a fraction, the sign on the exponent will change. All right. So this says write the following positive exponents. So if it's negative up on top, that means it's going to be positive if I do that. And I can't just leave it like that. I need to put a 1 on top. Same thing. Now the next one, trying to get a little tricky with you, is this -4 only applies to the G. Oh, I should slow down. What do you think is going to happen? Try it. Don't be afraid. No one will know. Be between you and me whether you got it right. So the 3 stays where it is. And it's only the G that goes down there and becomes positive. And I will show you later on. Honestly, some bad math, but it makes me really happy, and I find it way simpler than following the official rules. Stick around for that stuff. All right, so 15, T4 stays where it is because it's positive. B3 goes to the bottom because it is negative. All right, the last one, we got 5. Now we want positive exponents. So I'm thinking in terms of, let me do it here. Oops, one too many B's there. Sorry. Cancel, cancel. What literally my brain, it doesn't even do that. I just go, there's more A's on the bottom. How many more is there? There's 2. A squared, done. I don't have to think about this. I don't go 2 minus. That's my shortcut. Now, I have more B's on the top, so wherever there's more of, that's the place where it's going to be positive. So this is going to be B4. And if I finished my question over here, that would have canceled out. Oh, sorry. I should show you something kind of cool. 5 over x to the minus 3. What do you think? I know that's not in the sheet, but what do you think is going to happen if we make that -3 positive? And you're like, no, 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 Joanne. No, no. It's negatives on the, no, the rules are saying this becomes 5x to the 3. So if it's on the bottom and negative, you flip it to the top and it becomes positive. If it's negative on the top, you flip it to the bottom and it becomes negative. The moment you flip the sign on your exponent changes. Just saying. All right. Write the following using negative exponents. So the answer is all on one line. So I want to move this. Oops. I want to move this up to the top. So it's going to be 1d to the -6, right? Because we're flipping from the bottom to the top. And before you ask, no, you don't need the 1. So d to the -6 would be fine. These little beasties, we want to bring them up. I need my 6. It's already up there. It's going to be p to the -2 and d to the -3. And let's see where this goes. I'm going to shush. I want you to do the question. All right. 12 divided by 4 is 3. B4 divided by B9. So that's going to be 4 minus 9. It's going to give me b to the -5. Right? So this tells me I had more b's on the bottom. Right? So when I flip it, it goes negative. Now my c's, I've got c squared and c. I have more on the top. So it's just plain 2 minus 1. So that's going to give me just c. Ta-da! Ta-da! unless I say otherwise, I don't care which way you write them. Whether you use positive or negative exponents, whether you write it with positive on 2 lines or you write it with negatives on 1 line, it's fine. No big deal. Okay. Such as the next question, where I say there's an answer that has positive exponents and one with negative exponents. Either one is fine. So 7 divided by 7, I'm going to put 1. And here I've got p to the 1 divided by p to the third. So that's going to give me p to the minus 2. If you don't like that, 7p, 7p. 7's cancel out to give you 1. This cancels out. And you'd have p squared down there. Both today are equally correct. Well, see, here's where my cheating comes in. I will do it correctly mathematically, and then I'll cheat because I'll do what I usually do because I just don't like negatives. So the rule says, I'll put my little 1 up there. When I divide, I subtract my exponents, but I got to be careful because I'm going to go 1 and then subtract and then minus 3. And those two negatives, when I'm subtracting a negative, you add the opposite. So that becomes 1 plus 3, which becomes 4. And on a bad day, that makes my head hurt. So I do this. b minus 3. That's my work. I hate negatives. So I take this negative that's on the bottom and boop, I can flip it to the top. And when I do that, it becomes a positive exponent. And then I happily go 1 plus 3 is b to the 4th. So b times b third. So whatever makes you happy. Either way, you're going to get b to the 4th. I'm staring at it going, yeah, you're not going to get a negative exponent on that one. It doesn't make any sense. All right, here we go. 6 divided by 3 is 2. N squared divided by n is n. Yeah, you're not getting a negative exponent on that one either. 2. That's easy. So now I can just go 0 minus 3. So b minus 3. I'd accept that. You can also just go, you know what, b to the 0 is just 1. So this part just disappears because 2 times 1 is just 2. And you get 2 over b3. Either one of those is lovely. Does not matter at all to me. Okay, I'm going to pause for a sec. All right, all I'm going to say is, holy, this is going to end up being a long video. I think you should pause and you should do the questions and then come back. Because I realize it's a little bit longer than I expected. All right, here we go. Ow, just put my calculator away. Fractions, 2 choices. I know that there's no, we know about common factors. There's no common factor between 5 and 7. Those are both prime numbers. So I could just leave it as 5 over 7. And then I can go 1 minus 4. Sorry, negative 1 minus 4, which is going to give me, and if I write it that way, n the minus 5. Right? Because that n I'm looking at is on the top. Or I don't like this. I can go 5n to the minus 1. I'm just going to recopy it. 7 and 4 is equal to 5. And then I'm going to put this guy down here because I don't like that negative exponent. 7n to the 4th times n, which gives me 5 over 7n 5. And the n to the negative 5. Same. Whatever works. All right, next one. Oh, you also could have done 5 divided by 7, 0.71, 0.71, and minus. I don't encourage that, but I'm not going to argue at this point. Same thing here. I don't like this part. I don't like dealing with negatives. So I'm going to go 7b times b over 6. When that goes up, it becomes a positive, which gives me 7/6. And it's important, b squared is on the top now. I was just debating, do I need to do it right? Yes, I should do it the appropriate math way. 7b over 6b minus 1. So this is an understood one, so I'm going to go minus 1, because I subtract in the thing on the bottom. And 1 minus 1 is 2. Hey, I'm curious. 1 minus, so hit the minus button, and then I'm going to put a negative and 1. It works. I'm not used to my calculators working so good. I just hit my head. Oh, can't see it. So 7 over 6, b squared. And again, if you're not fond of fractions, 7 divided by 6, 1.16. Now, this one, you guys are used to that, right? Because it's that repeating 6. B squared. That'll be okay. Here's a tip, quick, for people who do not like fractions. When the top number is bigger, this is going to be 1 point something or other. If the 6 was on the top and the 7 was on the bottom, so when the denominator, okay, so let me try again. Denominator is bigger. Nope. Don't tell me I messed that up. Numerator's on the top, denominator's on the bottom. So when the numerator is bigger, it's going to be 1 or 2 or 3. Like there's going to be a whole number out here. When the denominator is bigger, like 6/7, I know it's going to be 0 point something or other. And that's a common mistake. People will just punch it in the calculator backwards. So if you know when the top number is bigger, it's going to be 1 point something or some whole number. Save you some time. All right. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, this looks fun. I believe this is some lovely review of kind of the power rules of multiplication and division. So let's do this. Okay, easy peasy. 5x squared divided by 5x squared is, of course you did, 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Okay, this, kind of a power question. Something I always forget to talk about, and I don't know if it ever comes up other than just randomly. When you have a divide line like this, right? Or a fraction bar, or whatever you want to call it, it's really like a giant set of brackets. What you want to do is you want to simplify the top, simplify the bottom, and then your last step is the division. Don't try and do some dividing now. No. Bad, not gonna work. So 2 times 7 is 14. Now we got to be careful. P times P squared, right? We're multiplying. We just spent, I don't know, 20 minutes dividing. 5p3. Ooh, and this says your answer should contain only positive exponents. Well, okay then. 14 divided by 5. Okay, it's going to be, there you go, 2.8, right? Because the top number was bigger, so it's 2 point something. And what I was trying to say before is if I go 5 divide by 14. Boop, I get 0 points on. Common mistake. So just watch for it. So I know this is 2.8. And I'm looking at this in terms of there's two p's. Never mind. 2, 3. Cancel, cancel, p on the bottom. Done. But I can do that from here. I can see there's more p's down here, and then it's just how many more? There's one. There we go. All right. Ooh, power rule. I don't like the power rule. It messes up people. So I'm just going to use my exponent rules. So brackets come first. So there's nothing we can do inside the brackets. So we're going to do this exponent. So I'm just going to bring down the 4, k4 times. Now I'm going to go 2k squared, and I'm going to write it 3 times because of the exponent. 2k2, 2k2, 2k. Oops, I lost my 2. And then this is all just one terms that I'm multiplying. And by the way, this is weirding me out. I didn't really need that part. I can just go 4 times, sorry, 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16 times 2 is 32. And 4k's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. K10. There. All right. If we use the power rule, you'd be okay. You go like that. And then this, one time you multiply exponents and you get 2 to the 3rd times k to the 6th. And I just don't like it. It's too easy to get confused. This, easy to do. I know exponents, you know exponents. Power rules, you know what, you really can live without it. Because what normally happens, people get this part right, but they'll forget to apply that 3 to the 2. That's where it gets messed up. So you know what? I didn't say a thing. Oh, all right. Well, that's something new that I wouldn't have thought of. But I'm just going to use my knowledge of exponents. That means b to the minus 4 times b to the minus 4. And when I multiply, I'm going to add my exponents. So that's going to get me b to the minus 8. Oops. But my question says that my answer keys can have only positive exponents. So if I want to make this positive, 1 over b, remember, a simple flip. I think there's a fancy rule for it. Reciprocal rule, maybe. But if it's on top and you put it to the bottom, your exponent is going to go from negative to positive. Ta-da! All right. Sorry. I possibly have done a little bit too much to dying. Oh, we're almost done. We're almost done. All right, 3x 0. Hey, hey, remember? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Boom. 2 times 4 is 8. And x to the 4th times x to the minus 1. You add your exponents. So that's going to give me 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. X 3. Ta-da! And it's positive, so I can leave it alone. Oh, wow. Look at that one. These are getting weird. I don't think they're hard. They're just weird. Don't panic. All right, let's see what we can do. Order of operations says deal with the stuff inside the brackets first. So what excites me is r to the 0. And actually, what excites me is look at this question and look at this one. Okay, this one, the 3x, that whole bit, 3 and the x were to the 0 power. So that means this all turned into a 1. On this question, it's only the r to the 0. Like the 4 isn't to the 0. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's only the r that disappears and turns into a 1. So I'm going to get r times bracket 4 times 1 minus 1 all over 3r. With me? Right? So that r to the 0 became the 1. I'm still not done with the stuff inside my brackets. That's going to give me r times, now 4 times 1 is just plain old 4. I'll put brackets around it. It doesn't matter too much. I'm turning my head because I'm trying to figure out, I mean, technically we multiply these together, but that doesn't make any sense. So let's just make it easy. What do you know about the r's? You're right. Bye-bye. Those cancel. So I'm going to get 4 to the minus 1 over 3, which looks pretty weird. But the rules, the instructions said to have it as all positive exponents. So the rule that we're using literally right here also works right here. So even a number to the -1 exponent or to a negative exponent, you can flip that sucker to the bottom too. So that's going to give me 3 times 4, right? Because when I put it down there, it becomes a positive, but I can't leave that. I need something up there. And that's going to give me 1 over 12. That was an awful lot of work for 1/12. What? I put these on to mess with you. And I know when we did this in class, people were not happy with me. But this is what fun math, upper level math is. It's like, I've never seen this before, but I have some rules. Let's just follow the rules and see where we get. All right. So the thing is, the 7 here and also here is acting as a base. So I'm going to treat it exactly like I would an x. I'm not going to try and I'm going to play with the calculator after, because now I'm going, well, you know, there's some options here. I'm going to follow the rules. And I know the question says make it positive. So boop, I'm moving that down. I've got 7 squared. And then I've got 7, right? Because this -1 becomes positive when it goes there. And I need a 1 on top. 1 over 7 squared times another 7. 7 to the 3rd. Now, question is done. I just want to play and see what happens. First of all, there we go. 7 exponent 3 is 343. So this is 1 over 343, which is, I want it as a fraction, 0.0029. I don't care about the rest. Okay, I'm very curious if I can do this on my calculator and go from here to here in one step. So, fresh bean dog, 7 exponent minus 1. I hope you guys can hear. She's so funny right now. Divided by 7 exponent 2. Clutch fingers. I don't know if you can see this with my crazy video. Clutch fingers. And bam. Look at that. I probably wouldn't accept that as an answer, but I give you part marks. Because the question way up the top said to give me positive exponent, and there's no exponent at all on that. Anywho, last one. Okay, if you got this one's easy. It's the same process. So let's just move that down. That's going to be 1 over 7 to the 4th times 7 squared. It's going to give me 1 over 7 to the 6th. And we are done. That was a long one. I'm sorry that was so long. I probably should have split that into two, but it's already set up. Have a spectacular day, and I shall go pet my dog. Hey, Bean Dog. What time is it? 8:16. Nope, I do not want to do another one. What do you say, Bean?